YouTube? How you doing? Muchísimo Eugene with another video from Exit Strategy. Today's title will be "The medical industry as a whole is nothing more than a racket." The medical industry as a whole is a racket. All your nurses, doctors, anybody, sorry about that, hit a big bump. Anybody in the medical field, this is not meant to offend you, it's just meant to inform you of what I've seen and what God has shown me through His eyes, because I could never see this with my own eyes. And this is a spiritual eye, not the physical eye. Discernment, some would say. So, the medical industry as a whole is a racket. I just passed a building that was recently erected. It was built in like 6 months. Fast as hell, they put this thing up. And the title of it is Behavioral Services. So think about that for a minute. Behavioral Services. It would give me the impression that it deals with any and all things involving behavior. And get this, inside of that building, they also deal with, they just crammed all this crap together. And so what they're doing is so many things going. It's like Maryland traffic, 6 lanes of traffic. It's so much going on. They're trying to congest everything that they do. Build the hospitals bigger and bigger and bigger to be all inclusive, all one-stop shop. They want people on top of one another, and they do it in the disguise of saying, okay, we're going to provide the best care so you don't have to leave here and go there. Okay, on the surface you would think, wow, I can get everything done under one roof. That's almost like a BJ's membership, if I can use BJ's as an example. Nothing more, nothing less. Or Walmart. You can get everything in Walmart. Tires, you can get your oil change, you can get your grocery, you can get your nails done, you can get your hair done. Who wouldn't want to do that? BJ's, get everything under one roof. Tires. But what we don't look at is the bigger picture. The bigger picture is that these entities, when they do this, they almost engage you mentally, subliminally, to doing business with them. And let's say you're in BJ's, for example, and you are in there buying grocery, and you say, man, I should just get my tires done while I'm here, not knowing that you really, in a big way, may not even need your tires done yet. But on an impulse, you do it. Just like BJ's. When you're in there on an impulse, you do it. You get all these things done. You buy things. They put all this in front of you. So whether you need it or not, say you're sitting in a waiting room with this behavior services, and you're waiting for one thing, but you're looking at all of this other stuff, and you're like, wow, I can do this, I can do that. What I'm trying to say, all of this stuff is perpetuating a need for speed. And I use that word a lot, a need for speed. They want us to buy into the idea that we're sicker than we are. We're not sicker than we are. We are a sick society because of what? We think we need more than we need. And I said on my video, a video or two ago, there ain't that many damn sick people in the world in the sense of traditional illnesses. There are a lot of people sick from as a result of being drugged by a narcissist. I mean drug, not the physical drug. The narcissist, their self, are a drug to the empath. Now we're the drug to the narcissist in many ways because they need us. But what they do is when they come in our life, they act like they're there to help and provide and be a helpmate. And what they end up doing, they're giving you bits and pieces of you. So in turn, you end up becoming codependent, not self-reliant. You become wholeheartedly reliant on their phony, fake promises. Now take that analogy, which is not an analogy, that's a fact. if anybody's been with a narcissist, they always make deals and promises that they can't keep. Same with these healthcare providers and these, I talked about when you go into triage. They look at you and they interrogate you like you're a criminal. And they ask you questions in a very harsh, egotistical, arrogant, I don't want to be here type way. They're so mechanical. But then the doctor comes in, their whole demeanor, their whole persona changes. It's like they turn off the kindness to you and turn it back on when the doctor whose ass they're kissing, brown nosing. This is how our society is working in general and at large. People feel like inside of themselves they have to kiss up to measure up. They can't just rely on the introspective, wow, I have something to bring to the table. It may not be a lot of who I am, but I can just bring the little bit of personality or the little bit of ability that I do have. I can just bring it to the table and contribute to whatever this thing is. Be it the workplace, healthcare provider, volunteer work. And so you may say, man, you know, what's this got to do with the healthcare being a racket? You take these things that I'm talking about and you combine them, or you put them in the context of the healthcare. These entities are nothing. They're nothing of what they should have been from the beginning, or what they have been in times past. This is a racket of mass attraction, mass seduction, mass illusion. They are luring people in, and cha-ching, cha-ching, it's like a carnival of sorts. You have people even doting on the doctors that they have. They'll talk a mile a minute about the doctor that did some work on them. They'll sit around and talk for hours about the doctors. And in essence, making the doctor their God. Now, who embellishes all of this adoration and attention more so than people in position of influence and power and persuasion? Narcissist. So now if you aren't getting the picture, God showed me where this is nothing new. This is just the same thing repeated on steroids. People have an overload of needing to be needed, needing to be noticed, needing to be appreciated, needing to be accepted, needing to be endorsed, needing to have somebody else say something good about them. And so this good news travels fast as opposed to bad news traveling fast. And by the way, the narcissist is giving bad reports about you fast. Godspeed. They'll smile in your face all the while they're trying to take your place. There's a song that goes like that. I don't know what's got me so jacked up about this, because you know what? I do know what's got me jacked up about this, because I'm going to tell you something. Nothing bothers me more, other than a narcissist, than a person. Even before I became aware of narcissism or narcissistic personality disorder, I despise a bully. I despise someone who tries to get over on somebody. So I guess in the beginning of time, since the beginning of time in my life, I've despised a narcissist. I just didn't notice what they were. And then in not knowing a narcissist are here, there, and everywhere, I kind of condensed it, or I kind of, not condensed it, but I consolidated it into one individual here or there. Not to say every individual is toxic. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying there's a hell of a lot of toxic people in the world. And even if they're not narcissists, guess what? Some people who would have a normal brain in and of themselves on their own, they may not be quick to get through life, whereas you know, they may not get it right away. But with influence from the narcissist, not only does the narcissist stunt the growth of somebody who may struggle to figure this thing called life out, they don't not only just stunt their growth, but they recruit the codependent, the person that may not have the esteem that they should have, the confidence they should have. The narcissist will come in, manipulate you, and make you think that you have all the confidence in the world because I just told you did. The narcissist. I told you, so you got confidence now. But you don't realize I'm gonna snatch that confidence away from you, because every time you feel overconfident and you feel like it's all because of you, I'm gonna remind you that it's because of me. I'm the reason why you feel confident, which is all an illusion. Now you take that with the doctor. He comes in, he gives you his results. Oh, I can see here X, Y, and Z. All you gotta do going forth is A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, P, Q, R, S, N, T, U, V, minus W, X, Y, Z. You only got 4 issues. And now what he's gonna give you, his prescription of to-do list. Essentially, you working for me now. I'm recruiting you. I'm gonna recruit you to go home. I'm gonna recruit you. I'm gonna give you a laundry list of things to do. Jump through hoops, roll over, sit, play dead, whatever. And I'm gonna give you a ton of freaking paperwork to study, so you can be able to pick your prescription up without even reverting to the paper. You're gonna be able to fill your own prescriptions. You're not gonna have to call me back. I'm gonna give you medications that you really don't need. I'm gonna do a lot of stuff, and I'm gonna bill the hell out of the insurance company. This is the doctors. This is no ethics in this. This is no ethics. Now, with all this being said, we have to rely on somebody, especially when it regards healthcare and our health. So what I'm really trying to say to you is, out of all of these disgusting individuals that I just named, I want to believe, and this is the key word, I want to believe that there are a fair amount of good doctors, nurses, veterinarians, RNs, LPNs. But you're going to have to determine that from person to person. Don't ever go on the assumption because they are a nurse, they have your best interest at hand. They are a doctor, they have your best interest at hand. It's always that nurse that doesn't kiss up to the doctor. You just sit in that waiting room, just observe. You'll notice it'll always be that nurse. You can sense it. Empath, you can sense it. Your intuition will tell you that this person is focused on what they're doing. They come and they talk to you. They have a somber disposition. They talk to you with general kindness, general respect. And even if they don't, they may be a little more hesitant than others, but this is a general rule for me. That is the kind of person, this RN, that has this somber attitude. She's pretty, she's fairly kind, respectable, deliberate in explaining to you what you need to know. She's paced. She's patient. She's paced. She's not rushed. But she seems like she's doing it without even trying. That is the kind of caregiver that is there to do the job, not to let the job do them. They're not there for their self. They're there to do the job. They're there to do what they swore up and enlisted to do. I've had cops, same thing. They come up, they don't come up with ego, they don't come up with with an arrogant approach. We're talking about individuals here, and we're gonna have to start looking at individuals for what they are as opposed to who they are. I mean, who they are as opposed to what they are. If they're a cop, he's a cop. Look and pay attention to who he really is as a human being, who he really is or she is as a nurse. Your casual observation is all you're gonna need in order to understand what I mean in this video when I say the medical industry is nothing more than a racket. It is, and it will forever be that way. And I don't take that back. I don't walk that back. This is something I've both seen with my eyes, and God has just illuminated the fact to me that this is something that we have to understand. It's going to always be a situation where we're vulnerable. This is no different than the church. This is just a different institution. I mean, same type of institution, control, manipulation, same pig, different lipstick. So, that being said, guys, I'm about to prepare to go into work. So, I just want you guys to know that this is not anything to play around with. You let your guard down in these capacities, this is when we set ourselves up to be used and abused and manipulated. And I didn't even mention, if most time when you're ill, you have to enlist someone to go with you, especially if you're going to be induced with some medications of some sort or prescribe something. You may not even go in on your own strength, and so you will probably enlist somebody to go with you, such as a family member, a loved one, or a friend. Say this loved one, friend, or family member is a narcissist. And narcissists hang close to sick and ill and suffering people. They attach to it like a sloth, or like what do you call that thing? A leech. They leech onto people like that because they're low vibrating. They're in their comfort zone when they're around people that are sick. You'll find morticians that work probably in the funeral home. I often wonder, how can a person do that? You work in a place where you gotta do autopsies. I'm not saying every person in that capacity is a narcissist, but I'll tell you one thing: you really have to have. And so you have somebody going with you. Be careful and on guard for that too, because this is where they're opportunists. They will go in there and sit and wait with you the whole day through. They'll be annoyed in many cases, but if they got that electronic gadget, they'll be just as cool as a cucumber, because they're already garnering energy and fuel supply from your sickness or your illness or your misfortune. And what they're doing is they're just rolling in it when you're over here suffering and talking about how much pain you're in. They're salivating over this. And they're going to double dip, if not triple dip, because they salivating, they're getting fuel supply in this respect, having to take you back home. You're being reliant on them. It's giving them supply. Don't get ill around a narcissist. Don't get sick around a narcissist. I mean, you can't control when you get sick or whatever. But what I'm trying to say, and I'll make another video here shortly coming up. I've been thinking about it today before this popped into my head and my heart about, if you just going to remain with a narcissist, don't eat or drink anything they give you or prepare for you or offer you. Don't eat or drink anything from a narcissist. It's going to be the next video. But with that being said, guys, as always, blessed.